Hello everyone, I'm Alex and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I look like a news reporter, ignore that, but we've got a massive update on the Colleen Ballinger situation from yesterday. She responded with her lawyers that you may have seen if you watched my video, and basically it's all gone crazy from there. So the article, if you saw the video from yesterday, basically goes on to just kind of discredit Adam McIntyre massively. That's kind of the aim of the whole article. It's just to kind of like make her look like she's really cool, wants to make Colleen Ballinger look like somebody who hasn't done anything wrong. It's very, very, very strange. But if you actually look here, there is a whole thing that's kicked off since then, because the Vanity Fair article never once reached out to anybody who was involved who was an alleged victim, which is wild to me. Now, if you look here, the original article that was posted, all the tweets are unavailable, which is always a good sign. That's how you know that something's gone down well. The article tried to make it seem like Adam had malicious intent for being fired by Colleen, but here's more tweets from Adam that are proving that Colleen is actually the person who had the malicious intent. I was being the weirdo, if we needed that. Do any of you have proof of him talking badly about me or wanting to expose me prior to all this? So Colleen was already trying to like string this narrative that he'd been planning this and was like upset or like annoyed at her, as if that would make it okay that she did all of the things that she did, which it wouldn't. Adam then tried to get in contact with Vanity Fair to kind of leave a comment to kind of rebuke the claims that were being made by Colleen Ballinger's lawyer team, and it didn't go how you think it would have gone. Vanity Fair are meant to be like a proper organisation, like real journalism. So look at what happened next. Adam tweets, "It's very clear defamation, knowing the facts and choosing not to include them. Issue a retraction and a correction." Adam then said, "We'll be issuing to Vanity Fair to review the facts that have been available publicly for a month and a half now, and for them to make a correction, and we'll see what happens from there." What happened next is that the person who wrote the article, Andrew Quintana, deleted Adam off of everything by blocking him. He blocked him off Instagram. So Adam tries to get in contact with this guy to be like, "Hey, your article's like a bit wrong." And he just like goes, "I'm not interested, I'm leaving it how it is," and Vanity Fair is just going to leave this article up, which is basically just defamation against Adam's name, trying to make it seem like he's on some form of hate campaign. He then went on to private his account, which you can see here, so now like you can no longer access it. But that's mental to me, that you could just write an article like this and then just private it to like get away with the fact that like you've gone out of your way to like make somebody's life worse. It's just very strange. Why would you side with Colleen? Obviously, because there was probably some form of arrangement and the PR team have got involved and they're trying to like make her look good. And they've managed to find somebody who was like willing to write an article, and they've managed to reach out to them, and they've managed to like get them the story. And this is the story that they've decided to run with, which is "Oh, it's not as obvious as it may think. Maybe she's actually innocent." Which obviously, it's quite clear from the evidence provided that, in my personal opinion, she probably isn't innocent of doing all of the stuff that she's done, especially because in the article they say that the text messages are verified, and that's what I'm judging her off. Did she send those messages to minors? Oh, well, apparently if the text's true, well then, yeah, it's not good, is it? It is wild, though, because if you do have loads of money, you could just hire people to just try and get rid of these issues. I just read in this James Charles article that we did a video on the other day, that he, like, got her PR team to try and get him into, like, red carpets and stuff, so he, like, looked like he was still, like, cool with everyone. It is mental that if you have that money, you could just pay people to just try and get you into places to make it seem like, oh, nothing's wrong. He's at the latest Marvel film. She's, got this article on Vanity Fair saying she didn't do anything. That's a proper publication. It's weird that they all just will defend these people for cash. I guess that's what a PR firm is for. It's for trying to feature public relations. This hasn't worked. I'd fire them. Somebody made a tweet here saying 20 people DM me asking if the Vanity Fair article is defamation of character. First of all, remember, I'm still in the process of getting my JD. I don't know what that means. I think he's like trying to become a lawyer, I guess. Here are the 4 characteristics needed. First, full statement reporting to be a fact. Vanity reaching out to Colleen lawyers and reporting on it as if it's fact could hold water as this, as well as Andrew indicating that Adam was lollygagging with the underwear and sending pictures of him in them. And the biggest part is Andrew's claim that no sexual crime has been committed, and now he brushed aside and acted as if Johnny didn't receive any photos of Trisha. He refused to even name Johnny. Yeah, so the lawyer involved has not even named the people who these accusations are about, which is just insane. Second, the publication and communication to that of a third person. This is tricky. Communication between Vanity Fair and Colleen's lawyers would have been subpoenaed in order to see what was said. Third, fault amounting of negligence, refusing to reach out to any of the victims and only reaching out to Colleen for comment is negligence in its own right. So yeah, I think you've got a decent case there. By the way, Colleen's lawyers, which she's using for this case, are the same ones that, like, defend Prince Andrew and Armie Hammer, who was accused of, like, trying to eat people. I don't want to, like, say that if you hire a lawyer, you know, that makes you guilty, because that's obviously not the case. You should have legal representation. But the idea of Colleen being under the same law firm that represent Prince Andrew, there's just something weirdly hilarious about that. It's not great, is it? Next, she'll be saying that she was sweating the entire time, and that she can't sweat, and that, like, there's a Pizza Express involved. That's what this PR firm are going to start pushing. She's actually been at Pizza Express the entire time, and therefore could not have been DMing these children because she didn't have access to the Pizza Express free Wi-Fi. But Adam has just been on it, man. Like, he's been making as much kind of effort as he possibly can. They've been trying to, like, get in contact with people to kind of fix this article, and they just won't do it. This excerpt is so telling about Colleen's PR strategy, providing a disproven accusation of an extremely serious and credible accusation. Yeah, I mean, I picked up on this in the first article. This is something that a lot of people try and do. They'll go, yeah, I did all of that stuff, and it sucks, but these two things I didn't do, and then that brings it into, like, kind of the area of doubt. It's something that loads of people try. It doesn't really work on me. Like, if you go, these 6 text messages are real, these 2 aren't, I'm going to go, okay, that's a shame that, like, those 2 have been manipulated in some way, shape, or form, or don't read as they were meant to read. But what about the 6 that you've gone, oh yeah, I did do that? And that's literally what happened in this article. Like, in the article that we, like, read in the video that I posted yesterday, it basically says, like, we've verified most of the text messages, most of the stuff is true, all of it is just here to read, and if you look on Twitter, like, there's even more stuff that's being posted, and they basically, like, yeah, most of these are real, but, like, she never did blackface. Okay, cool, but what about the allegations of grooming? That's what people care about. They don't care about the other stuff as much. Obviously, it's still bad, but, you know, if it isn't even real, nobody's going to be angry at that. They're going to be like, okay, you know, that's like a bit of a smokescreen. And I don't understand why people do that. Like, there's very real stuff here that is bad. We don't have to, like, dig through loads of other stuff that isn't bad. You know, I think if you look for her books, there's more evidence that she's, like, a freak. If you look at her live shows, there's more evidence that she's really weird. But, like, pulling up stuff and just, like, cutting it in weird ways, you don't really have to do that. Like, the text messages and the Twitter DMs are more than enough. They kind of show how strange this woman is. They show, like, all the weird stuff she's been up to. You don't need to fuck around with it. Like, as you could see here, like, they're going to use it to kind of try and, like, put it in this weird area of she didn't really do anything wrong. It's just not needed. Because what Colleen has done is so weird. And there is no reason for anybody to try and find other stuff to get her for. She's already in a lot of trouble. Probably more amount of trouble than you could ever imagine to be in. So don't worry, guys. I think people know that she's not a great person. This is a crazy tweet by Vanity Fair, by the way. The fact that it says, one can look at the devolution of the Miranda Sings empire and see that the longer it drags out, the harder it is to pin down the exact truth. That's mad to me. Being like, some stuff might not be true. People are kind of just piling in now. Yeah, they might be. People might just be joining in at this point for the sake of joining in. Yeah, okay, that's valid. Can you explain why they're joining in the first place? Like, what brought this all up? It wasn't like it just came out of nowhere. It's because you messaged teenagers and you sent them underwear and you asked them to, like, what porn they watch. And, like, you asked them to, like, send pictures to you. And you asked them, like, what their favourite position was sexually. Yeah, people are piling in now and going, oh, blackface, and what about, like, this dodgy tweet? Yeah, who cares about that? What about the stuff that people are actually upset about? And the fact that Vanity Fair are backing that, it really makes you question all of these publications. It's fucking weird that they would just defend somebody like this without even asking the people involved, like, if any of it is real. Makes you lose all faith that anything is ever handled properly, and that you should never just read a headline. You should read the whole article, really figure out kind of what's going on, because this shit is just wild. And then they changed the tweet to, if there's one thing the saga of Colleen Ballinger and her fans has taught us, it's that today's YouTube winner is tomorrow's loser. Yeah, okay, she was famous once and people liked her, and then she was weird with teenagers. I mean, that doesn't make you a fucking, like, YouTube's loser. That makes you an alleged criminal, okay? You know, it's not like she was loved and now people don't find her funny anymore. No, it was she was loved and she broke that trust with her audience and people. It's so weird. This whole thing is weird. And if you read through the replies on Twitter, like, nobody is taking this. Like, nobody is, like, you know, everybody is just being, like, defamatory, lazy journalism. Yeah, it's fucking grim. Like, this whole situation is, like, sickening that they thought they'd actually get away with this. I don't understand. And then they posted another one. Colleen Ballinger's downfall is the product of a particular era of YouTube stardom, where a digital persona is able to cultivate a feverish fandom that's been trained to reverse course with the first spilling of tea. What the fuck does that mean? YouTubers, if one thing happens, everybody hates you. No, that's not the case. Like, people don't rush like that. It may seem like that on Twitter, but, like, is people are still getting views, the people are still deciding, like, the jury's out, people are still working on stuff. That's not how this works. I think that whole idea that, like, they'll just follow whatever anybody says. These are human beings with a mind and a brain. Like, some people, yes, do follow the crowd. Of course they do, without actually looking into any of it. And they idiots. But idiots exist, unfortunately. You just got to kind of fucking ignore them. But what about the real people who are reaching out? Vanity Fair, you didn't speak to. What about them? Do they not matter? I guess not. I love how it's, that, you know, the spilling of tea. Fuck off with that. With, like, what this is. That is such a shitty tweet. It's fucking grim and pathetic to make it seem like it's just drama. It's not fucking drama. It's bad. Shit's not good. I love it. There's a fucking Twitter have, like, added, like, a context thing that says Colleen Ballinger's inappropriate sexual and offensive behaviour is in her content on live shows. Adam McIntyre's claims have been verified by witnesses. So they can't even get away with this stupid fucking tweet because you've got this underneath it that's basically being like, this is a weird, like, puff piece that's trying to make it look good. It's so odd. Like, I'm genuinely furious that this article exists. I can't believe it. It blows my mind. It's just crazy that somebody has written this and a massive publication have posted it without doing any of the due diligence that you'd expect for something like that. We could have got a real article about somebody doing something really fucking weird, but instead we got this. It is so odd. And I keep on covering this topic, by the way, because more and more stuff keeps on coming out. So, you know, people might be like, oh man, why is it going on? It seems like you guys want me to keep on talking about it. I'm personally interested in this whole thing because I find that shit like this is mind-blowing, and that if people aren't talking about it, and publications like this feel like they can get away with doing shit like this, which is wild, and I would never want that to be the case. These people need to be, like, held accountable for what they're trying to pull, and, like, trying to rug pull people here, like, be like, oh, ignore it, and, like, blindfold people. Oh, don't worry, like, it's not as, it's just weird behaviour. It's not as bad as it seems. She didn't do this thing, so that means she didn't do all the other stuff. It's wrong, and I'm not going to stand for it. So that's it for this video. I'll see you guys soon. I got a couple more videos coming out this week that aren't about this stuff, that are kind of fun, but I'll have a couple more videos about it. So if you want to watch it, subscribe, and I will see you guys very soon. Have a good day. This stuff is mental. What the hell? Bye.